4 years ago, Belarusians uprised against Lukashenka, who was ruling the country for 26 years. For us, it was not just another protest. It was the revolution of dignity. We protested against injustice, against repression, against rigged elections in the end. We wanted to see our country as the part of European family of nations. And you could see very different people on the streets. Students and babushkas, factory workers and professors, they were all united. And this feeling of unity, it's still there. People felt pride for being Belarusians. People realized their power, because when you live in tyranny, you always feel separate. You feel abandoned, you feel alone, you cannot speak aloud what you think, and you always have this feeling that no one will support your idea or your view. But in 2020, we saw that we are majority. And for Lukashenko, it was the huge hit. He was on the brink of collapse. He reacted with a brutal violence. He realized that he lives in the country where everyone hates him. His propaganda was not able to handle it, and he called Russian propagandists to solve the situation. He was ready to call Russian troops to help. He allowed soldiers to shoot the people, and we saw many people died in these fights. Some people believe that it was very peaceful. Yes, it was very peaceful, but there were many nights of building barricades, stopping water cannons. People resisted so much as they can, of course, with bare hands. But it was not just silent protest. People did whatever they were able to do in such situation. And now, 4 years after, we see that was the moment which we have the new which changed Belarus forever. And Lukashenko will never be able to turn the page and to get back to business as usual. But also the world reopened Belarus. Before, Belarus was just a black spot on the map of Europe. There was Russia, and somewhere near Russia there is Belarus as its satellite. But people in the world saw that there is a Belarusian nation, speaking Belarusian language, cherishing their culture, having separate identity and European aspirations. And this international solidarity, it also helps Belarusians, but also it helps us now as well to continue our resistance. Right now, there is no possibility to protest openly on the streets, but and the protest went underground. And we saw many acts of resistance. When the war has started, people were stopping Russian trains and sabotaged Russian military equipment. Right now, even speaking Belarusian language or singing Ukrainian songs in Belarus is already the act of resistance. So this is why it's very important to support Belarusians and Belarusian people, and it's very important to distinguish Belarusian people and Lukashenko's regime. This is two very different reality, very different body. Belarusian nation, which has grown up, which sees its future in Europe, which supports Ukraine, and Lukashenko's regime, which became the puppet of Putin and supports the criminal war against Ukraine. And we advocate right now, of course, for more support for our repressed, for political prisoners. There are more than 1,400, and unfortunately, every single day, 10-15 people are being detained, which also shows the fragility of the regime, because it doesn't feel confident, but it also shows its cruelty. And to fight this cruelty, we need pressure. Right now, Belarusians themselves cannot put enough pressure by themselves. We need international support. This is why sanctions are very important, but they must be targeted, and they must target the Lukashenko's cronies and all the apparatus.